prevention is better than cure. In medical terms, we call it prophylaxis, which means it is better to stop something bad from happening rather than it is to deal with it after it has happened. In the case of COVID-19, it is even more pertinent as there is no specific treatment available at this time. Only the innate immunity comes into play during an infection. Specific immunity is non-existent since it is a new virus and our immune system has not experienced it before. We enumerated the various preventive measures in the first episode. Today we will deep dive into the application of masks. Why use them? What are the different types? How to use them and what precautions to take when using a mask. In view of prevailing peculiar situation because of coronavirus, the risk of contracting the disease is very high. Based on the current data, it seems to be much more infectious than the flu virus. How much more, we do not know yet. A person can be infectious in the incubation period. There is no way to know if the person is the carrier in the incubation phase. It may be you or me. If I am a carrier and if I wear a mask, the chances of transmission are reduced. At the same time, if you are healthy and you are wearing a mask, the risk of contracting the disease is reduced. Combined together, we are able to weaken the transmission chain. So please wear the mask when for some unavoidable situation you have to go out and are not able to maintain social distancing. There are three types of masks. N95 respirators. Yes, the actual name is N95 respirator, commonly called N95 mask. These are tight fitting and may have valves to breathe out air. They come in different sizes and can prevent up to 95% of the viruses and bacteria from entering the wearer. The surgical masks are loose fitting and one size fits all. They are used to protect the wearer from any spray of fluid during procedures done on the patients. It also prevents spread from the wearer to the patient. Its efficacy or usefulness is 1/20th of the N95 mask. The efficiency of the homemade mask, if designed correctly, is about half of the surgical mask. There are many good design techniques available online, including on the CDC site. Though it would be ideal for all of us to use the N95, which is generally uncomfortable to wear, or a surgical mask, it is recommended that the general public use a homemade mask. The reason is that there is a short supply of the surgical and N95 mask, and those should be made available to the medical staff and frontline workers. When making a mask, use 100% cotton material. Make sure the cloth is washed before and after making the mask. Wash your hands before wearing the mask. Distinguish the outer and inner surfaces. Place the top margins on the bridge of the nose and mold it to the shape of the nose if the upper margin contains a moldable material. Avoid touching the mask while wearing it. Any adjustment you want to make after wearing the mask should be done after cleaning your hands. Avoid touching the front of the mask when taking it off, as it may be contaminated. And do not touch your eyes, face and nose when taking it off. Ensure it is disposed of properly. Wash your hands with soap and water. Be sure to wash the mask with soap and water before reusing it. Please understand, basic hygiene must be observed. Do not use on young children, persons with respiratory difficulties, or those who cannot remove it by themselves. Also, it is not to be used on unconscious people. Observe proper techniques for wearing and taking off. Change the mask when it becomes moist due to breathing. Dispose it correctly. Do not be complacent when wearing the mask. Do not carry a false sense of security. Mask is only one of the preventive tools. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Let's do all the right things and follow the recommendations to prevent the disease from affecting us and all those around us. We will talk soon again regarding other preventive steps we can take. Till then, relax, meditate, and keep smiling.